Great. Nice to meet you. Just to let the audience, Vir Satyan, who is, as we talk, RangeMe is the biggest B2B platform in US. Oh, sorry. Okay, it's the biggest platform in US, operating in US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and UK. And the platform is a way is one of the allows an agile to discover brands for the new retailers in US, connecting more than 10,000 buyers and supply and 175,000 suppliers. Actually, we're working as such as leaders such as Whole Foods Market, Walmart, Sephora, whatever. Vir is one of the founders of the team RangeMe, working in the also for the business in Australia. So he's going to speak us about amazing things such as how we're changing the commercial channels and the new tendency of retail that's going to be surging after the pandemic. So Vir, nice to have you here on board for this event, and I just let you go.
Thank you, Javier. I've got my colleague Federica with me as well. And so I'll turn my camera off now and start sharing my screen. You know,
perfect.
It's kind of perfect timing because we're traveling, we're in Philadelphia, and we're here for a trade show, Expo East. And it's the first major trade show in almost 1.5 years now in the US. So,
wow,
you know, things are slowly starting to get back, but it's perfect timing for what we're all going to talk about. So let me start the screen with everyone. And, you know, today we're going to cover quite a few different things, but we're going to start with talking about what RangeMe is, how the buyers use our platform, and during that process, talking about what trends we're seeing and how things are different now to what they were like last year. So in a nutshell, like Javier mentioned, we have over 10,000 buyers that use RangeMe. And because of that, we have over 175,000 suppliers. All the major retailers in the US use us. And the way they partner with us is directly from their corporate website. So if you're trying to get in touch with the buyers at Albertsons, which is one of the top 3 largest chains here in the country, what they ask you to do is submit your items through RangeMe. And this is part of what we're seeing as an evolution in the last few years in particular, which is the adoption of more and more digital communication. You know, with trade shows usually being canceled, even Federica and myself were here for a trade show. They're going to have about 10% capacity compared to usual years. So it's a very small show because people are worried about traveling and COVID. And so buyers are now using digital methods much more than ever before. And as a result of that, what's really great is brands that are international, especially all of you that are listening in Spain, you have more chances now of being seen by these buyers without having to travel, without having to spend thousands and thousands of dollars, because they're using online methods now. You don't have to come to a trade show. You don't have to be in America. They're going to use platforms like RangeMe to be able to find you and discover you. So the way the process works is, I'm a buyer and I'm interested in finding new products. This is how RangeMe is set up for me. I can set my categories. We cover every category you can think of. So most popular ones are food and beverage, also beauty and personal care products. And then you have more healthcare products. So let's say for this example, I'm interested in looking at some food categories. I have a choice now as a buyer. If I want to get really narrow and only look at some narrow categories like snacks, or I can look at all of food. So for this example, we're going to look at confectionery and snacks. So if I save that as my categories, now I can come in here and say browse, and I'm automatically going to see all the different brands that have at least one product in the snacks category. Over 8,000 brands, more than 33,000 products just in snacks. Now for me as a buyer, I can use this digital platform to be able to scroll through and see if there's anything that I'm interested in. So I can scroll down like this, And as I scroll down, I see more and more brands like this. And I have a few options. I can request a sample. I can save this and look at it later. Or I can directly message them as well and start the conversation. So this is a marketplace event. We don't have purchasing, so we're not a direct purchasing platform. Think of RangeMe more like LinkedIn, where you get to discover and engage, and part of the engagement is requesting samples or sending a message. So if a buyer is interested, instead of purchasing directly from you, they will send you a message, and if they say message, then they have options to choose one of these or write their own message. Once they do this, it opens up a direct conversation between you and the buyer. And that's more and more of what we're seeing, especially in the last 18 months, which is buyers using digital methods to actually start communicating. And again, especially for international brands, what this allows them to do is be able to get seen and get this kind of awareness without having to spend thousands and thousands of dollars and without being here directly on the ground in the US. So let's say that I want to filter this because I'm interested in looking for something organic. I can type in organic as a keyword, and now it's going to show me all the brands that have organic in their description or the brand name. So when you set up your profile, it's really important because keywords and understanding what buyers are looking for is very, very important. You know, one of the biggest points of advice that both Federico and I give to companies is to remember that there are two channels of sales for you all as manufacturers. You have direct-to-consumer sales, and you also have wholesale or retail sales. How you talk about your product and your brand directly to consumers is very different to how you would talk about it to buyers. When you're talking to buyers at retail stores, they want to understand what is going to make you different to any other products they have already on their shelves. When you're talking to consumers, it's a different viewpoint because you need to spell out why your product's good. You need to talk about pricing, things like that. But with buyers, what's really important is they need to understand the keywords and the key terms that make your product shine and stand out. Because at the end of the day, when you think about how a buyer operates, they only want to carry products that are going to be in demand by consumers in their stores. So if you can show them that what you have is different and going to help their sales, they will happily carry you in their stores. So let's say I'm interested in Frankie's Organic. As a buyer, I can click into it. Now I'm going to see the whole profile that they have set up. And it starts with seeing the packaging. So I can visualize now how this product might look on my shelf. And then I can scroll down and see all the different items they have as a company. On the right-hand side, I can see some of their social media information, like their Instagram page, and also some of the locations that they're currently doing sales in. And if I'm interested in any products in particular, I can click on them, and now I'm looking at even more information about the actual product. So I have the average cost, and that is the wholesale cost to me as a buyer, and what the MSRP is. So what would I sell it on my stores or on my store shelves for? Any approvals and certifications. Now, this is also a really, really important trend that we are seeing in the last 18 months. Buyers are looking for products that have certifications because consumers are looking for certifications and keywords when they buy products. More organic products, more non-GMO, things like gluten-free, those are all very in demand right now. So when a buyer is looking at items, they want to know that you have these certifications, because when you look back at this product here, they know that a consumer will pick up this packet, see the certifications, and then be more likely to purchase this. So for everyone listening, if you've considered getting organic certified or non-GMO or vegan certified or any of those different things, it's really important, especially in the American market right now, because it allows you to stand out from the other products who might make that claim, but they may not have the certification. There's then a description and unique selling points of the actual item. So this is where keywords and search terms are really important, and understanding, again, what do buyers want? They want very quickly to understand, how are you different to other products, and why should they carry your item? And by looking at this description and unique selling points, I can very easily see as a buyer how this product is different to other snack items that I might have on my shelf. It's organic, it's gluten-free, it's non-GMO project verified, and it's also vegan. So knowing that and seeing these certifications, I know that I have better chances of selling this product, and therefore I'm going to carry it on my store shelves. Then you have some technical information. So you have the distribution capabilities. This is really important as well. Can you distribute all over the world? Javier mentioned the different countries that RangeMe operates in. So can you distribute in Australia and the UK and USA? You have to mention the countries that you can distribute to, because then the buyers can understand whether they should be contacting you or not. And then you have packaging types. So you have one item, but you also have the case. The pricing varies. You can mention some comments there. A lot of people say things like FOB, either New York, or they use a distributor. So then the buyer understands what kind of margin they can make. And then you have the ingredients and materials. So I can go back here as a buyer, and I'm back to my dashboard looking at all the organic products. Now I can also filter by certification. We talked about why it's so important. Let's say that I only want products that are USDA organic. I can select that from all the list of certifications here. And now I can see only the brands that are organic and are certified. So now as a buyer, it allows me to filter very quickly into specifically what I'm looking for. This is a very popular way for buyers to use filters, and we cover every imaginable certification you can think of. And another way for me to filter is by origin. So let's say I'm looking for products from Spain. I can type that in as the country of origin, and now this will show me only the 153 brands that either manufacture their products or are based out of Spain. And now I can scroll through here, and I can see all the different items and all the different manufacturers. And let's say I want more information on Iberia Foods. I can click into it, and now I'm looking at all the different products that they carry as a distributor. The company's headquartered in Miami, but the products also come from Spain. And I can scroll down and see all the different items that they have, and then be able to click on any of them if I'm interested. And then finally, what I want to share with everyone is some of the trends that we're seeing in the industry. So just like all of you as consumers, you might use Netflix or Hulu, whichever ones are popular in Spain. Sometimes you don't know what you want to watch, but there are collections like trending and popular. We do the same thing with buyers. We know there are certain items and certain criteria that are popular in the market right now. So we share those trends with the buyers. One of the most popular ones is trending on Instagram. Going back again to the trends that we're seeing in the retail market, because of COVID and because people are not traveling as much as usual, the buyers want your brand to be very popular on social media. Because if you are gaining lots of social media followers, that means more people are looking for your products, and therefore the buyers will carry you, because then people can find your products on their stores, whether it's online or whether it's on the shelves. So we have trending on Instagram as a great collection. We also have supplier diversity. That's very important here in the US market as well. So minority businesses, whether it's women owned, whether it's ethnic minority owned, if you're a minority business, it's become very popular, especially right now, for buyers to want to find you and carry you on their shelves. We have a CBD collection. I'm not sure what the legalities are in Spain, but in the US, CBD is all over the place now. So a lot of buyers are now looking for CBD products. We have a plant-based collection. It's continuing to grow. You know, they say by 2024, in a few years, the plant-based collection or the plant-based industry will be over 10 billion. That's a lot. So as a buyer, I can come in here and look at all the brands that are plant-based. And now I don't have to think of the different search terms or think of the different certifications. I can come in here and we have preset all those filters. So now I can look at, excuse me, all the plant-based and vegan products. And a couple of other collections that are very popular. And I'm sure you're seeing this in Europe as well. Sustainability. So more and more consumers are becoming more conscious of the kind of products they purchase. And therefore, the retailers are taking a lot of attention in here too. Do you use recyclable packaging? Is your product fair trade? Is it Rainforest Alliance certified? Those are the kind of things that buyers are now looking for, because the consumer demand for sustainability is really important. And therefore, we're seeing more and more spike in buyers looking for sustainable products. And that's really the key of a lot of what we are seeing on RangeMe, which is sustainability, more plant-based food items and drink items as well. We're also seeing buyers use digital platforms more than ever before, because traveling is difficult. They're not really going to a lot of trade shows nowadays. So for them, they can be at home and they can be finding these kind of items. And as a result, we're seeing a lot of opportunities for international companies to get more US exposure without having to spend a lot of money. So with that, I will pause. I know that Gloria and maybe Javier have some questions as well about trends, so I'll open it back up to you.
Vir, I think it's very interesting here what were being said. Also, I think one of the key points is that all the search tend to be more product focused rather than brand focused, right? I mean, you're looking for certifications, you're looking for specific features of the product rather than the brand itself. No? So I think it's an interesting opportunity there. I got some questions here that the audience has been asking. The first one here, which is ranked by votes, is okay, you're saying that this is a discovery platform, but doesn't allow to do shops. I mean, to shop inside. Is there any expectation in the future that this part of the experience side will be do it inside RangeMe or not?
Absolutely, and that's such a great question. Literally, as of 2 days ago, so well, today's Thursday, so 3 days ago on Monday, we've started to roll out the first batch of our direct purchasing models. So now buyers on RangeMe will be able to look at products and also purchase them. For the first 2 months, because we are testing it, we're only opening it up to brands that are already in the US, because we want to make sure that there's no delay in shipping. And we know that logistics, there are lots of challenges now, especially with COVID. But eventually, once we test it out, we'll open it to all companies. So then,
great.
Yeah, so then a buyer will be able to browse, but instead of save, sample, and message, they'll also see a button that says buy now, and they'll be able to buy it directly at whatever wholesale price you put on here.
Wow, I think it's a great opportunity there. Also, additional question here, they said, if you're offering food, should you first comply with FDA?
So because we are more about discovery, we don't need FDA approval. If you want to list your items, you can list your items. And if a buyer contacts you and they want to ask you more information, that's when you can work out with the buyer whether you need to get FDA approval or you can still get your products to them.
Okay, great. Also, here's someone said, is it possible as a seller to see other product prices and descriptions, or how we could compare our products with the competitors?
That's a very good question as well. So we don't show you other products in terms of their pricing, but what we do for sellers, and I'll show you that while we're talking and while I'm talking here, I'll pull up an example of a seller. This is a seller's profile. And under the sales and marketing section, we have industry insights. And what that allows you to do is for your category, so in this case, they have personal care products, you can decide to see bath and body. And now you can look at what the buyers are not just viewing, but
great.
actually responding to.
It's like an aggregate data, right?
Exactly. So this tells you on RangeMe, on average, the buyers are interested in 50% margin for bath and body products. It tells you what your average margin is. It also tells you what kind of price point they're looking at. So they're looking at close to $17. This company has $13 as the price point. So they're very competitive. They're not too luxury. And I can also see the top trending buyer search terms. So that way I know, do I have any of these attributes? Have I put them on my profile? How do I actually stand out? And in addition to that, what are the certifications that buyers are looking for as well? We saw how to do it as a buyer, but now as a manufacturer, you can see the important ones so you understand what the buyers are looking for. And like you said, aggregate data for your category.
Wow, great information. I think that's very valuable for companies there. Additional question here is this true that you got to pass through RangeMe through access to US supermarkets? And it explains, I mean, it works like a first filter for all of the supermarkets know all these global suppliers?
That's exactly right. So, going back to one of these examples where I was looking at Albertsons, just like Albertsons, we are partnered with over 120 top retail chains in the US. Whole Foods, Publix, Albertsons is a great example, Kroger, but also some mass market stores like Target and Walmart. And all of them have us here on their corporate website. So when you go to how to become a new supplier, the first thing you see there is to submit your items.
Submit your items, yeah. Great. Also, I mean, related to the first question, there's also asking, do you also work with small retailers?
Absolutely, we do. So we have thousands of small and independent retailers on RangeMe. And as a manufacturer, what's really important for you, especially until we get direct sales, is understanding where your brand awareness is going and who's looking at you. So you can come into Profile Insights under Sales and Marketing, and you can see all the different retailers that have recently looked at your brand. And you'll see here, we have big chains like Whole Foods, Target, and Walgreens, but also very small chains that I've never heard of. I don't know who Cushy Boutique is, but they're obviously a very small independent store using our platform.
I mean, but it's interesting because also for niche brands that are not going to the mass retail market, I think it's very interesting also to have that overview to see who could suit the market for them based on their supplier, I mean, the retailer profile. Okay, great. Also, they're asking, there's only retailers on the platform, or there's also importers?
Yeah, very good question as well. We have some importers and distributors, but mostly it's retailers that are using our platform. And in many cases, if they're interested in your product, they will put you directly in touch with their own distributor. So I'll use Whole Foods as a great example because everybody knows them. Usually, if Whole Foods is interested in your products, they will ask you to work with either KeHE, that's KEHE, or UNFI. Those are the two largest distributors in the food and beverage space in America. And they'll put you directly in contact with them because they want to bring all their items from the distributor directly instead of working one-on-one with thousands of companies.
Okay, great. Also, they're asking, which categories are the ones who are the one most common, or the one that has got more like success, and which are the ones that are still not having so much success on the platform, and I mean, it's an opportunity to improve or to encourage that area. Which are the most common features look for those buyers? There's two questions, sorry.
Yeah, no problem at all. So the most popular categories are very similar to what you would see in the industry in general. So food and beverage, and then beauty and personal care. And nowadays, especially in the last 18 months, health and wellness, because more people are purchasing vitamins and supplements because they're worried about taking care of their health. And those are very, very popular categories amongst all the buyers. Less popular are things like home and houseware, candles, lamps, home decoration products. Those kind of things tend to be less popular on RangeMe. And then in terms of trends and categories, I'll go back to this section here for industry insights. One of the things we're seeing is continued interest in plant-based items, organic items, and also sustainability items. So that buyers are looking for certifications. They're also looking for small business certifications, but especially organic, vegan, those kind of things when you come to the food and beverage and also the beauty section.
Okay, great. Also, here they're asking, previous months ago, you said that you were going to launch a platform in UK. What we can expect for the future on RangeMe in Europe? Is in a target market?
It absolutely is, yes. So as of about 5 weeks ago, we've launched officially in the UK. So now we have 3 retailers. It's very small. We're starting slow, but we'll pick it up. We have Tesco, we have Asda, and we have the Co-op, which is the 3rd largest grocery chain of retailers. And the way that works is, as a manufacturer, when you're setting up your products, when you look at the products and you look at all the different rows or different information categories you have to put in, one of the questions is distribution. Which country can you distribute to? Depending on your answer, if you say only US, then only US retailers will look at you. If you include Europe as well, then all the European retailers, including the UK ones, will be able to look at you as well. So for now, we're starting with the UK, but we also have an office in the Netherlands. So we're getting a few Netherlands retailers on. And then the next 3 countries we're going to expand into are France, Spain, and Germany. And so as we continue to expand in there, more retailers will start using us. And then you can either choose, I can distribute globally, or you can put those specific countries in. And then what it asks you to do is, based on that, you can change your pricing and information for different. So the German buyers or the Spanish buyers can see one part of information, the US buyers can see something else, because a lot of times you need to adjust things like pricing and margin depending on the country you want to go into.
Wow, great. I think it was great news to hear here on all the audience. A small company here, it says, do you offer any solution or service to support the logistics? I mean, as a small size company here established in Spain that haven't got any experience to sending products in US.
Yeah, very good question. And we get that all the time, not just from small, but even larger companies internationally are asking us. So what we do, since we don't specialize in that, is we have an entire section called RangeMe Services. And what you're able to do is come on here and find service providers in all the different categories that are popular. and directly contact them. So let's say logistics, 3PL, shipping. I want to come in here and I want to look at people that do it. I have all these different options now as a supplier, and I can contact them directly by going to their profile, seeing what they do and what they specialize in, and then writing to them to get a quote or looking at their website. That way, we let you contact and connect with people that are actually specializing in this area. And we have lots of different categories. Shipping and liability insurance are the most popular ones.
Wow. I think you have answered all great answers to hear for this for our companies, because you offer a wide variety of solutions. I think it's a very target oriented your platform. I think it also encourages a lot small and mid-sized companies to show their products there. Seems also very easy, the platform. Really, I was really amazed looking how intuitive is to manage inside there. So I mean, great. I think it's a great platform there to have this opportunity to go to US. So Vir Satyan, we haven't got much time. There's 2 minutes from the time we established to you. So thanks a lot for all the information given, all the insights. Nice to hear you here on board. Hope to stay in contact soon, and yeah, and for the next event, the second edition, hope we can also have you on board.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having us. And in about 15 minutes, we're going to go to the trade show floor because it opens up today, and we'll be able to get some feedback on and share with all of you next time on what the industry is looking like. It's going to be different because this is the first show in over 1.5 years, and we must see what it's like and then be able to share with all of you how things are slowly starting to change again, and are they maybe going back to normal, or what even is the new normal. So
yeah, it sounds great. I mean, willing to hear from you soon from the new features that RangeMe developed. So thanks a lot, Vir, and see you soon.
You're most welcome. Have a good afternoon, everyone. Good evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.